Okay, guys, I'm about to go to bed, but before I do, I'm going to give you a story time that I just can't hold back. And this story time is about a jester. Yes, I said a jester. So, when I was a young child, I had this horrifying dream about a jester. And you guys know a jester is like a funny looking clown with the curled hat and curled shoes. Well, when I had this dream, in the dream, it's like I was frozen in time. I was at my aunt's house, and in the dream at my aunt's house, it's like I was staring out of the front door in the living room. And I saw this jester skipping towards my aunt's house from across the street. Now, at first glance, it looked like I didn't know what a jester was when I was young, so I thought it was like a clown. Ooh, this is scary for me to tell y'all, but it was skipping towards my aunt's house. Now, mind you, this jester had a big curled hat, and I'm gonna show you an image of it in a second, and pointy curled shoes that went upward like that. Ooh, just that image. So this aunt's house that I was at, I'm going to give you a little background. My aunt, she's also a witch. She's a natural witch. She just doesn't practice. She doesn't have to. She's very, 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 very powerful, this aunt. And there's lots of witchy things about this aunt. She's the kind of aunt that when I was young, she would ask me to spend a night over her house. And I say, okay, auntie, I'll spend the night. And as soon as you agree to spend the night, she starts telling you scary shit. Like, she'll be like, well, you know I got them spirits that walk up and down my hallway every night. And you know I got one spirit, and his name is the breather. And the breather, he just, once you go to sleep or about to go to sleep, he comes in your room and just breathe over you like, and I'd be thinking to myself, like, what? Did you ask me to spend the night just to tell me that you got spirits all up and through your house? And from an outsider looking in, you would think my aunt was crazy, but she's not. You would spend the night over her house, and I guarantee you would see the spirits that she told you that were there. You would see them, you would hear them, and all. Even if you're the kind of person who's never seen a spirit in your life, if you spend the night over my aunt's house, you're definitely going to see spirits. You're going to hear spirits, all of that. It happened so much with me and my sister and my cousins. We would tell so many stories about spending the night over our aunt's house and the spirits we saw and the noises they made and what they did, and just crazy. So that's the kind of aunt I'm talking about. She doesn't practice magic, but she's very powerful. She knows how to use her powers without traditional aspects of practicing magic. One day I'm going to get her on here to talk to y'all and tell you her stories and her ghost stories. I called her the other day because I was thinking about this dream that I had when I was a child that was a jester. Fun fact, all of my family members who have the spiritual gift, we all see the same spirits. So my aunt saw the jester in her lifetime. I saw the jester. We're both witches. And I finally came to a conclusion tonight of why me and my aunt saw the jester, which I'll give you later on in this video. But yes, me and different people in my family, we all see the same spirits. Some of them are very frightening, and I'll tell you that in another video, all the spirits that we see. So I had a dream about a jester. So in the dream, I'm at this aunt's house that I'm telling you about, and it's like I'm frozen in time, or everything's going in slow motion. And I'm looking out of her front door, and there's this jester that is skipping towards my aunt's house. Now, once I first saw the Jester, it didn't look evil or malevolent in any way. But as it got closer, I began to question that, because there was an eerie feeling, just like a scary feeling. So what I did in the dream is I ran away from sight where I could see the Jester. I ran away where I couldn't see it and it couldn't see me, and I hid. I hid in her dining room, and I just hid, and I sat down like this, like, what is that? Like thinking, what was that? What was that? It's something, a clown skipping towards the house with these big curly shoes and his big hat. And I just hid in the dining room. I was by myself in the house. And all of a sudden, I see a shadow that comes to the dining room window where I'm sitting, trying to hide. And all of a sudden, I open up the curtains of the window, and the Jester comes through like with a big wide grin and that big curly hat, and it looked evil, and it was like, and I was like, ah! And I closed the curtains, and then that's all I remember. So when I was young, and I went and I talked to my aunt about this dream and told her what happened, because in my family, we can talk to one another about seeing spirits in our dreams or seeing like different paranormal things, because that runs in my family. My grandma, my aunt, everybody sees things. And so I told my aunt when I was young about this dream, and she said, what did it look like? And when I described what the Jester looked like, his shoes, his hat, the colors it had on, and it looked evil, she said, baby, I've been seeing that same Jester for years in the backyard of your grandma's house, or actually in her backyard. And she would see the Jester like just standing by the fence looking at her with an evil grin, like. And she would see the Jester like messing with the chicken coop, she said, that was back there. And we talked about it on the phone the other day, but that was a frightening, frightening dream. And when I did some research into looking into Jesters, I saw that for the most part, you know, back in medieval times, Jesters were used for entertainment. They were used for just witty, they had witty personalities. They entertained the people of the court. They entertained the kings and queens. But what people don't know is behind every Jester was a very wise person. A person full of wisdom. And a very intelligent and powerful spiritual person. So from the outside, it looks like just a funny, joking character, like a little character that's just, you know, funny, witty, joking, not serious, full of happiness and taking risk. And in the tarot deck, it is the Fool. The Fool is numbered by the number 0. So it means new opportunities, taking risks, playfulness, youth. It just means starting new things. But it also means purpose. And so behind every Jester is a powerful spiritual being that's full of wisdom as well. So it kind of goes back to the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And in a way, I kind of feel like how it would relate to me in my life. Because many people I meet, they take me, oh, she's so sweet and she's so kind and she's cool. But I am a very powerful spiritual person myself. I'm a very powerful spiritual person myself. And I'm very serious about spirituality and the practices that I have. And I feel like only once you get to know me do you know those things about me. And I feel like maybe when people look at me on the outside, they look at me a certain way. But when they get to know me, they see just how committed and serious I am with the wisdom that I have in spirituality and the knowledge that I have that I don't speak about. And so I just wanted to give you guys that story time about the jester, about the dream, and how seeing that spirit runs in my family with my aunt. I don't know who else in my family has seen it. And one day I'll get my aunt on the phone, the very aunt I'm talking about, and she'll tell you some interesting stories. Very interesting. My aunt still sees spirits every day like she did when she was a child. She was haunted by spirits her whole life. And some of her stories are so frightening, but just like mine. But, yeah. I just wanted to give y'all that dream about a jester. And if you all have had any dreams about jesters and things like that, feel free to share them in the comments. I would love to hear it. And thank y'all for y'all's time. And y'all have a wonderful evening.